Hello, Charlie from Sports News Blitz here. You might have heard me previously on the channel talking about England's Six Nations squad announcement and my thoughts on that alongside Barnaby and Rich. But today I'm on my own, and today I'm heading north of the border. I'm going over Hadrian's Wall and I'm going to be talking about Scotland's Six Nations squad after Gregor Townsend released it earlier today at the time of recording. I've had a few hours to think about it, I've had a bit of time to gather my thoughts, and I'm going to be giving my general opinions on it. I'm going to be talking about one notable omission specifically, but a couple of other potentially controversial picks, and a couple of the interesting people that Townsend's included, because there's some interesting stories there. So to start off with, I'm going to go to the general thoughts, and mine are of positivity for Scotland. I am not Scottish, as you may be able to tell from my accent, but they are a very, very good side, and the side that's been selected is about as good as it gets for them, and it'll compete for the Six Nations. I think they'll just fall short to both Ireland and France, but they'll give Ireland a very good game, especially at Murrayfield, and I could well see them winning that. France away is never easy, and I'm not too sure about that one, but if other results go their way, they might not need that. 4 out of 5, would be enough to win the competition, more than likely. So, could they do it? Let me know your thoughts down below. I mean, they've never won the Six Nations. Their last win was 1999 when it was still the Five Nations. So, can they win a maiden Six Nations? I don't think they can, but I think it's a very good squad with what they've got available. I think the only thing that Townsend's got wrong is not including Johnny Matthews as backup hooker, and instead he decided to go with Dave Cherry, who is a very interesting pick because Cherry's not played internationally for over a year. He had a pretty poor game against the Springboks to start off the World Cup, and then he got injured after falling down the stairs, and he's not been seen since. And Matthews has had a very solid season for Edinburgh. He's scored a lot of tries. He's underrated in a lot of aspects. I think he's underrated in terms of speed. I think he's underrated in terms of power. And I think he's underrated in terms of his work rate and how hard he works. I think sometimes people see him as someone who just kind of hangs around the back of mauls and almost stat pads, if you will, and just scores tries. But he does offer a lot more to his game than that. So I think often his try scoring ability actually works to his detriment because people kind of pigeonhole him as just that. And maybe Townsend's done that, but it seems like Townsend never really favours him. So, he's got a squad to pick. I like the fact he's stuck to his guns because that is a big decision to make, but I think it might cost Scotland because, like I said, they'll be competitive and you rely on your sort of replacement players to get you over the line sometimes, or if a game's not quite going your way, to add that extra bit of spark. And I think Matthews has that spark and Cherry doesn't. Cherry's also not young, he's 33. Matthews is only 31, so it's a bit of an odd one. I'd understand it a bit more if it was a young player coming through, but yeah, a bit of a strange one. But on a more positive note, and a player who I like to see in a Scotland jersey, is Fergus Burke, the fly half for Saracens. So he's had a good career so far. He's won Super Rugby with Crusaders in New Zealand. He's represented the All Blacks under 20s. He's England eligible. He's obviously All Blacks eligible. And he's still only 24. He's a very good player for the future. Is he Test level yet? No, I don't think he is. Is he Scotland level? No. Is he England level and New Zealand level? Definitely not. But what he has got is a lot of potential. Now, Saracens are allegedly looking for a new number 10, which is surprising because he's had a very good season so far. Or very good, maybe a bit generous, but he's had a good season so far. He's been solid. And I think it's good that Scotland have picked him up. They've tied him down. And it's always good to see a potential Finn Russell replacement being kind of in the works. Will he be as good as Finn? I don't think so. But like I've said, is he a good player? Definitely. He's dynamic. He brings a lot. I think where he falls short possibly is consistency. But when he's on it, he is on it. And he is a very good player. So I don't think he's quite a Finn Russell replacement. But it's a step in the right direction. And I like the fact that Scotland are continuing to scout players from abroad. I think Scotland fans have sort of mixed opinions on that. But for me, from the outside looking in, if I was a Scotland fan, I would be happy to see international players come into the side and, make a difference. I mean, they'd be nowhere near the same side as they are now if they didn't have all the players from abroad, mainly South Africans, of course. Scotland's a small country. People seem to forget that. So from purely domestic talent, I think they wouldn't be able to compete with England, and they wouldn't be able to compete with France and probably Ireland as well. You've seen Wales with the 25 cap rule before you can stop playing for the regions if you want to play internationally. That's been working to their detriment. They've missed out on a lot of good players. But Scotland still have a lot of good domestic talent, but they also have a pathway for players of Scottish heritage or who have been in the country for a long amount of time to play for them, which benefits them as it's less rigid and it allows more talent into what's a small talent pool. So for me, Fergus Burke is a positive inclusion. It'll be good to see him get a few minutes and show what he can do at test level. Do I think he's quite ready yet? No, but he's a good inclusion and a step in the right direction in terms of replacing the increasingly ageing but still top level Finn Russell, who is now, I believe, 32 years old. So that's positive. I think another positive, who's someone that's coming back, is Johnny Gray at second row. It's a bit of a weak position for Scotland, I'd say. I think it lacks a bit of power and a little bit of bite. And I think Johnny Gray is exactly that. That's what he is as a player. He's very powerful, as mentioned. He's had a very good season in France so far for Bordeaux after leaving from Exeter at the start of the season. And with Scotland's front row being so strong, they need a couple of big locks to sort of support them. And it's a bit of a weak position. It's not got much depth to it, I'd say. There's only 2 or 3 out-and-out locks. There's quite a few back rowers who can play second row, but I never like to see that really. I think it imbalances the team a little bit. It's similar with sort of, Kinghorn playing fly half potentially. I think it imbalances the team. He's very good there, but you want your players to be in their best kind of natural positions, i.e. Kinghorn as a fullback, and the back rowers as back rowers. So for me, that's something that's potentially a problem position, but something that Gray can solve. And he wasn't included in the autumn internationals because of injury, but he's back, which is good to see. So they're just a couple of things to do with the Scotland team that I've noticed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I feel like I've rambled on long enough now, but thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and take care. So thank you very much.